The coming election is between APC and the Nigerian masses. That's just the simple truth. No amount of endorsement, no matter how many governors, no matter how many traditional rulers or political stakeholders Tinubü gathers, can save a government that has completely lost touch with the people. Nigerians are not blind. The hardship, the hunger and sufferings are real and unprecedented. Even if all the 36 governors endorses him, it won't stop the wave of rejection coming in 2027. Public disgrace awaits any leader who chooses to ignore the cries of the people. History doesn't lie, and we will not forget. The same knot caused the problems. We were enjoying ourselves under Jonathan, but they frustrated him, and now Nemesis caught up with them, despite all the positions Jonathan gave them. But mind you, Tinubü is not Jonathan. Tinubü may not close his eyes and lose the election, even if thousands will perish. Sorry, I am not a supporter of him because I didn't vote for him. But God is using him to punish Nigerians, and the North in particular, because of their claims and declarations. Postponing a funeral doesn't raise the dead. The Jonathan lesson and Tinubü's blind march is a story for another day. But no president in Nigeria's history received more public endorsement for a second term than Goodluck Jonathan. Politicians across party lines, governors, senators, traditional rulers, religious leaders, billionaire businessmen, and over 10,000 well-funded support groups flooded the airways daily, confidently predicting his victory, some even before noon on election day. For Jonathan's administration, money was never a constraint. Funds were recklessly thrown at anyone who showed the slightest support. So much so they merely greeting Mama Peace with a good morning could attract legacies. A month to the February 25th election, the Jonathan government secretly commissioned an international pool expert to predict the election outcome. The result, a shocker. The poll predicted Jonathan would lose if the election were held as scheduled. Alarmed, the president summoned the National Security Advisor, NSA then Sambo Dasuki, and the head of the DSS. The internal intelligence confirmed the grim forecast. The North was mobilized and ready to vote Jonathan out. In a state of panic and despite nationwide outrage, the Jonathan administration postponed the election by 6 weeks. The official reason was to address insecurity in the Northeast, a region long neglected under his watch. Ironically, the same Jonathan government that allowed Boko Haram to displace thousands, hoping the chaos would suppress northern voters' turnout and give him an advantage in the south and north central, was now racing to deploy troops and reclaim territory, not out of concern of the people, but to rescue a failing re-election bid. Why the sudden urgency? The NSA and DSS warned that Northerners were determined to defy the odds and cast their votes. INEC chairman Atahiru Jiga then also resisted pressure to cancel elections in the troubled North, insisting that adequate arrangements were in place, even for displaced persons. Jonathan was boxed in. He delayed the polls, deployed military resources, and hoped that his last-minute effort would appease Northerners' vote. But it was too little, too late. The North saw through the charade and rejected him. In desperation, Dasuki was dispatched to London to brief the international community of the justification for the postponement on his returns. The doors of the central bank were flung open to him. Billions in naira and dollars were siphoned, allegedly to buy arms. But in reality, it was used to bankroll Jonathan's re-election campaign. The infamous $2.1 billion arms procurement fund became a political war chest, enriching cronies and drowning support groups in cash. Even former Sokoto State Governor Atahiru Bafarawa reportedly received 4.6 billion naira, over 40 billion naira in today's value, to hire local and international marabouts, witch doctors, and prayer warriors for Jonathan's victory. But did all this save him? No. Nigerians spoke loudly on election day and threw Jonathan out of power. The APC itself was stunned by the scale of his victory, and the PDP remains in denial to this day. Let's fast forward to 2025. President Tinubü, buoyed by arrogance and flattered by sycophants who crown him a master strategy, is blindly walking the same path that ended Jonathan's reign. But history teaches hard lessons. No leader who ignores or torments the Nigerian people walks away unshattered. Nigerians may appear passive, docile, or defeated, but when the time comes, they strike back with the ballot or by force of will. Make no mistake, 2027 is about APC versus opposition party. It is a battle between the suffering masses and the architects of their torment. The level of leadership under Tinubü APC is unprecedented, far exceeding anything experienced under Jonathan. Yet, Tinubü and his cheerleaders carry on deluded and indifferent. The warning signs are clear. Obasanjo once responded to a journalist asking if the 2015 election postponement would help Jonathan win. Postponing the funeral doesn't wake up the dead. You are only delaying the burial. That analogy is more relevant today than ever. Tinubü's administration is already politically dead. In the hearts of Nigerians, the charade of endorsements, the wasteful validation events, and the careless squandering of public funds won't change the outcome. Nigerians are watching and they are waiting.